Hey everybody, this is Josh Olive with Haven Comics. We are experiencing some technical delays, so hang on 1 second. We will be right with you. Hey, we got something working here anyway. Glad to have everybody with us. It is Thursday night. It is time for the Haven Comics Quiz Show. You can never have enough Haven Comics. You can never have enough quizzes. Quizzes are fun, unless you're in school and they count for something. This does not. You only win prizes. So it's all good. Let me introduce to you our co-host, the one and only Mr. Jeremy Brunah. You don't have to look so concerned, Jeremy.
Prizes count for something. Our quiz counts for something.
Right, but it doesn't count against you.
Well, yeah, it only counts for you, which I think is pretty fun.
Yeah, that's way better. So how's
your hair looks awesome today. This is the first time I've seen you let it down since quarantine.
I guess it's been a bit. Yeah, I'm going for full-up lion's mane today.
It looks
that's
great.
Got some volume to it.
Yeah, looks amazing. I'm pulling up the questions now. And then we've got our guest waiting by. We've got the prize cam waiting by. It looks like we're starting to get some people in the comments. I think people might be too stressed. This week has been a lot, but this is one of the reasons we do the show.
That is a true statement. Well, let's real quick shout out to see who we got on with us here. Grace is tuning in all the way out from California. Hello, Grace. How are you? And we had somebody pop into the comments who I guess we should just go ahead and introduce. Our guest tonight is the one and only Mr. Andy Case.
Evening.
Wacky View. There he is.
How you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
I can't complain. How about yourselves? I just asked that.
Well, it's all good. We're just stressed. It's
I hear you.
Fun. Hang on. I got to address this. That's for you, Alan. That's for you. All of this. I know you love it. That's for you.
Those luscious locks.
Yeah, I needed a haircut before COVID hit, and then COVID hit, and then it was a long time, and it was growing out, and then my wife decided she likes it, and I haven't had to cut it for work or anything, so it's like, you know what? We'll just see where it goes.
That's kind of...
I'm morphing what into I did with the guy from The Simpsons is what's happening.
Oh, no. I kind of did the same with the facial hair. I've experimented with a mustache and a beard before, and when I've never really been pleased with it. But, I mean, with no real excuse to go out in public, I was like, well, if I'm going to do it.
Yeah, let's see how this turns out, right?
Yeah.
So, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you and what kind of nerd... What's your nerd cred? What's your thing?
Okay, well, my name's Andy Case. I have been a regular in like the theater Huntsville scene for a few years. You may have seen me with PH, with IMP, a few different organizations. That's been my bread and butter. Of course, with this year being what it is, I haven't gotten the chance to do that.
Now, did you do any of the flashlight ghost stories or anything like that for TH? Because I didn't see that. I didn't see you anywhere.
I did the last one, the Gamble House. And that's available on their YouTube channel.
For anybody who does not know, Theater Huntsville is freaking awesome. I used to do a lot of stuff with Theater Huntsville, and I mean a lot, but then my job kind of got in the way.
Oh yeah.
The kind of job I have is one that I can't make a lot of long-term commitments for, so I've kind of been hosed out of the theater thing for a decade, which is soul-crushing to me.
Yeah, it's hard to be away from it. But I know TH, they have some really cool plans in store for the near future, doing things on YouTube and on Twitch, just to keep things going. But as for Nerd Cred, I run an RPG group. I usually meet Thursdays and Fridays. Various games, Dungeons and Dragons, of course, Pathfinder. We just last week played the Alien RPG that came out last year, and it's really fun.
So, do you guys know each other? Have you guys worked together before? You said that you both are big theater fans.
If he got into theater lately, it's been a decade since I was involved.
Yeah, I think we know people who know each other.
I have no doubt about that.
Yeah, I know Jeremy. We have a few mutual friends. So
yeah,
even though I don't
be a nerd in Huntsville and not have mutual friends, right?
Yeah. So even though I don't know y'all personally, I'm sure we run in a lot of the same circles.
You and I have met.
Yeah,
and you were starting. You were doing that Kickstarter for a theater production.
Yeah,
I know. I sat down with you guys. But it's been a minute.
Yeah, unfortunately that fell through, but other things are in motion.
Right on. Well, good. I'm happy to see more theater and more independent art in this area. You guys should put on a Zoom play.
We've done a couple of those.
Really?
Yeah.
Hard to win a Wings Award from that.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you competing against right now?
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, the Wings Awards were canceled after last year.
Yeah.
But hopefully one day they'll come back.
I'll give you guys a shiny star. You'll win something.
Oh, nice. Somebody else is a BTE fan.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about this one?
Let it down a little bit. Let's tussle it out.
It's down as far as it goes. I mean, that's it.
I don't know. It's more of an anime look.
Yeah.
You got the upturned swoop.
With them kind of the bangs like that, it kind of looks like the early couple of volumes of Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Kind of got that
and
this Peter Parker haircut.
You got 3 minutes with Bonesaw.
3 minutes of playtime. I can do a really good Macho Man impression. You want to see it?
Heck yeah!
Why don't you go for the Macho Man impression throughout the game?
Oh, that's
is he dead? Because that's brutal if he's dead.
Yeah,
it is. That's exactly like my Elvis impression.
That's too far. Too far.
Oh boy.
So Andy, the way this game works, audience, we're going to ask you some questions. We've got 10 questions. 9 are for you. 1 is for the audience. If you get the question right, Andy, you walk away with the prize. If you get the question wrong, the audience has the opportunity to swoop in and get it. Audience, you need to answer as quickly as possible, because if you're the first person that gets the answer right, then you're the one that's going to walk away with the prize. So obviously, Andy's going to get everything right. But audience, we know he's going to get everything wrong. So stay on your toes, and you'll be the one that walks away with a great prize. We've got a lot of great stuff. Josh, you think we cut to the prize cam?
I think we should cut to the prize cam. Let's see what we got.
All right, we're going to cut to the prize cam.
Oh, yeah. I always thought the Macho Man should have done a voiceover for the Kool-Aid Man.
I'm surprised we never did a crossover.
So we're looking at the prize cam now. You'll see all of our great prizes for the night. Of course, we've got a sticker pack donated mostly by Geek Out Huntsville.
At it right now.
Well, the prize pack.
There it is.
Wait, prize cam. There we go. We've also got a Haven comic sticker. We've got an I Voted Trash Panda sticker in there, apt for today. We've also got some great prizes, 2 of which are donated to us. I'd like to give a shout out for those. We've got a Among Us lanyard clip. Have you guys played Among Us?
I have. I am terrible at it.
It is brutal. It makes you question and hate your friends, so that's fun. And then we're going to zoom up. We've got We've got a Ninja Turtles mask Those were both donated. Josh, why don't you talk to us just a little bit about who donated those?
That's from Christine May. She pops on and watches us a lot, and she's making stuff all the time. So she messaged us after she watched the show one night and said, "Hey, could I donate some prizes?" And we're like, let me think. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, she's come by the store several times and she's donated some prizes, and we really appreciate that. Those Turtles masks are great.
That's awesome that she did that.
Yeah.
We've got my comic book we give away every week. We've got a Captain America prize pack with some variant comics, one of which has a certificate of authenticity, so I think that means it's good. We've got Ethnos, is that a tabletop game? I haven't played it.
Yeah, it's a board game.
Right on. Kaylee said blue looks pretty suspicious. That's that game. I think Andy is the murderer this time in this game. So
he pointed out what I forgot.
I did pop out of a vent to get here, so
the Among Us badge does glow in the dark.
That's amazing.
How cool
Price
is that?
Do you think we can? Would you think we can test that?
That is up to you.
Uh-oh. Somebody killed the prize cam.
Oh my God!
Call an emergency meeting.
You're a prize cam widower.
Nope. It hasn't been outside. So typically those things have to be outside to charge. And then we have another really great prize cam has gone dark to prove that thing glows in the dark, but we'll cut back to it. We've got a really great prize I really love I'd like to focus on. Tom Price is a local artist out of Decatur.
Yep.
And he donated a Mars Attacks Red Sonja cover for this week. It is a sketch cover. So I actually have a lot of art from Tom Price to give away for this show. He was one of the artists in my comic book that we're going to give away in this show too.
Nice.
Excellent. Wow, it came right back to me, didn't it?
Oh, you're the star, Josh.
I'm the star. It's my hair. Alan just wants to see more of the hair.
Alan knows what he likes.
You need to get a slow-mo of you doing the hair toss with some Careless Whisper playing.
That would be I absolutely should. That's a great idea. So I'll just record that for Alan.
We got some love for the prizes. I'm happy to see that because we got a lot of cool stuff, and a lot of it is by local artists. Christine, before we move forward, I want to ask you: do you have a store? Is there any way to pick up the great things that you're donating to us?
Yeah, let us know for sure.
If you do, drop it in the comments. We want to make sure everybody sees it.
Speaking of new things, I have something to show off if you guys want to see it. It doesn't look very different from a lot of the other things that we have gotten, like our magnets and our keychains and our pins, our little, these are great on lanyards if you need one of those. And our original stickers that we got, and then our super shiny stickers, metallic. Ooh, hollow foil metallic. Yeah, it's blinding you, isn't it? I can see.
Yeah.
So it's not very different from all of these things, in that it features our logo pretty prominently, but it is different in what it is. And these are window clings that you can, like on, say, your rear windshield of your car, the front room of your house, whatever you want to advertise without like permanently damaging anything. This just static cling to your glass. And also these are a pretty good size. I mean, these are the magnets, and this is the window cling. So
right on.
As Kaylisa has pointed out, I have gone mad with power.
You definitely have. That or Sticker Mule has got your number, one of the two.
They do have my number. That is a true statement. Well, you're welcome to it, buddy. Yeah, Grace digging on the stickers and such. Well, what say we jump in and start asking some questions and throwing out prizes? What do you say, Jeremy?
I think that's a great suggestion. I think we should cut to the first prize that we're going to give away is a sticker pack, mostly donated by Geek Out Huntsville. We're very happy to see them contribute to this game. I'm going to go ahead and cut to the prize cam to show off those stickers. Can we zoom in on the I Voted Trash Panda one? I love it. It's my favorite. Okay, so Andy, do you feel sufficiently ready to answer some questions?
Let's find out.
All right, that's a great attitude. We're going to give it the old college try. Audience, do you feel sufficiently ready to swoop in and steal Andy's prizes? I hope so. If you are, stay on your toes because, let's see.
I gotta say, some of these questions are they're tougher than some of the ones we've had before. So we'll have to.
We'll put my cred to the test.
Owen didn't sign in with us today because he is traveling, so I'm pretty sure he's listening from his phone. I want to give a shout out to Owen Anderson. He writes our questions. Owen is who I go to make sure that I know what's going on with anything nerd related. He teases me relentlessly about not knowing anything ever.
About having not watched any movies at all?
I mean, what can I say? I'm too busy making comic books, and that's it. That's my excuse. Okay. Andy, audience, what pop culture and entertainment icon tried to purchase Marvel Comics in the 1990s with the motive of making a Spider-Man film so he could play the lead role?
Tried to purchase Marvel Comics in the 90s?
Mm-hmm.
Was that MJ? Was that Michael Jackson?
I am very surprised you got that. That is a real deep cut. Michael Jackson approached Marvel when they were financially struggling, but they wanted $1 billion, and they deserve it, right? Mm-hmm. Jackson was a huge Spidey fan and approached Stan Lee several times to buy the film rights to no avail, so he tried to buy the company. How crazy is that?
I mean, if you got the money to do it, I mean...
Can y'all picture Michael Jackson as Spider-Man?
No. Just a flat no.
Yeah, I
mean, just imagine those dance moves.
I would kind of love to see it.
I guarantee you there would be a scene where he moonwalked up a wall backwards.
That alone would be incredible.
Yeah.
I know at some point there was an unmade version of Spider-Man. I don't think it was the same one, where they were actually going to cast Arnold Schwarzenegger to be Dr. Octopus.
Right, that would be crazy.
I've got all these arms, and they're so flimsy. They should work out.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the memes?
Oh God,
that would come out of that movie. The
There's
Spider-Man.
already the ones from him as Mr. Freeze, right? No more Mr. Freeze.
I meant Spider-Man Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh God.
With great power comes great responsibility. Oh.
I just heard the prize cam double over in laughter. So.
On the subject of the King of Pop, favorite album of his is the soundtrack for Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
What?
Yeah, they apparently he was a huge fan of the games, and so he jumped on board to help do the soundtrack for Sonic 3. But then, because the trial happened around that time, they took his name off of it.
Oh man. So he has like a whole how do you say that right way? MI bitmap, not bit. I don't know what I'm talking
IMDb.
about. He has like a whole electronic album in Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh wow, Tom Cruise was going to be Spider-Man.
Tom Cruise was going to be Iron Man too, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, hell, Nicolas Cage was going to be Superman at one point, so.
Yeah.
Who? What?
I've seen some of the footage from that. I actually, I feel like we missed out.
Yeah. Out of morbid curiosity, I would like to have seen what that would have been.
Yeah.
That would be an amazing. Like, I think DC should start making graphic novel versions of all the movies they didn't make, like the George Miller Justice League, the Tim Burton Superman, the Jack Black version of Green Lantern.
Oh yeah, they've got those scripts just floating around, right?
Just put them to use.
That would be cool. I would see that Elseworld.
Oh yeah,
people.
I would absolutely. But I mean, Dark Horse is doing the same thing right now with like the original script for Alien 1.
Right? Is that still running?
I think they're like 3 issues in.
Yep.
Well,
it is.
Andy, you weren't lying when you said you had some nerd chops. So I'm excited to see how this goes for you.
Let's see.
So let's see. Second question. What Alan Moore masterpiece was initially published in black and white and was an ongoing serial in the UK anthology comic called Warrior before it morphed into a limited series published by DC?
Well, hold on. Before he answers that, give him a second to think about it, because we need to show the prize that he can win is the Ninja Turtle mask and the Among Us clip. That Among Us clip is cool. My daughter loves that. She keeps trying to steal it from me. I gotta find the pink one, honestly, so we can give it away next week.
Yeah, good call. What Alan Moore masterpiece was originally published in black and white as an ongoing serial in the UK anthology Warrior before it morphed into a limited series published by DC?
I mean, the obvious answer is Watchmen, but...
Is that your answer?
I think I'm going to go for a curveball and say Miracle Man.
That is an answer, but the real answer was V for Vendetta, which Grace got.
Of course.
Remember,
the 5th of November.
That's today.
Of course.
Pretty apt question.
Have a V for Vendetta question.
That's like my 4th favorite Alan Moore book. So.
4th favorite. Oh, I love that they're ranked.
I love that he likes 4 of them.
Yeah.
I mean
Alan Moore.
Are you a Tom Strong fan?
Sorry, Tom Strong?
Yeah.
I haven't read Tom Strong, but I loved Supreme, which is in the same sort of vein. It's more like Silver Agey.
Yeah.
Supreme was actually one of the prizes that we had today, but I was feeling a kind of theme you might notice throughout, and so we exchanged it with Ultimates. Okay. You may or may not notice the theme. If you do, please let me know, because I'm very proud of it. But it's subtle. So, all right. Also, we've got Justin Lynch here, so finally the show can really begin.
Now let's ask all the Star Wars questions.
All right. So the next prize up for grabs is actually my comic book. I published it earlier this summer. It is Brief but Unsettling Home Videos. This is a collection of what I go for is kind of a psychological horror minus the horror. It's like a get in your brain and explore what's in there kind of unsettling anxiety trip. If the prize cam has an extra 3rd or 4th arm to flip through it, we've got a lot of great artists in there. One is Tom Price, who donated the comic that is up today, and then another one is my brother. Honestly, I think it's probably the greatest comic book of all time, but I am biased, so you guys are going to have to tell me. And if you hate it, just don't tell me, because I have a sensitive little ego. So, for that comic book...
I need a haircut, Justin? Because Alan says no.
Josh, you don't need a haircut. You need to let that grow.
Yeah, it's just going to keep doing it.
Josh, can I tell you a real quick story before we get into this question? I feel like we should start before I actually start on the question. My first comic book shop owner taught me how to make a bong out of a Mountain Dew bottle. And his hair was just like yours. I just want you to know that.
Oh, my Lord.
You just need to know what you're putting out in the world.
Yeah.
You got two parts.
That's a skill you can put on your resume.
And for the record, I was a kid. I did not need to know. But he did. So fun little
Remember, kids,
factoid.
winners don't use drugs.
true.
I love that comic book shop, and I hope it still exists.
Is that the one in Louisville?
It's actually the whole diatribe, but it's Radcliffe, Kentucky.
Okay.
I lived in a satellite city to Louisville when I was growing up.
Okay.
All right, Andy, stay on your toes. How have you been on your toes this whole time? Lord of the Rings. Are you familiar?
I have a passing knowledge of it.
Have you seen the movies, read the books?
I've never seen the movie. So.
I've read the books.
True.
I've read the books once. I have seen the movies a bunch of times, and I have the Silmarillion, but I'm intimidated by it.
Silmarillion's great. The hard part of the Silmarillion is the upfront part where it's really the whole creation myth of the world. And if you read it from a pure mythology standpoint, it's still slow going, but it's cool. But once you get through the creation aspect of it and you start to get into the people and the who and the what and the where and the how, that is awesome. And I strongly recommend it, especially before Amazon comes out with their show.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's good. I hope they do it justice.
Where does their creation myth stack up against the Norse creation myth where a cow licked an ice cube?
Well, it's not that cool by any means. But it's God in Tolkien's world is called the Luvatar. And he creates a symphony, and he creates all these people to play their parts. And the one who's essentially Lucifer, the devil, I mean, the analog for that, he's like, I'm going to get you back. I'm going to play something discordant, and I'm going to mess it up. And God turns that and makes that cool instead of like it sounds bad. He shifts things around so it's cool. And he's like, hey, why did you do that to me? But there's this whole element of creation as music and music as creation that's amazing. It's really cool. It's not Malgoth, it's Morgoth, and that's not his name to start with. That's what he gets called later. Get it right, Justin.
Justin. Justin's not going to get this answer because he got that wrong. All right, Andy, you're going to, audience, stay on your toes. In Lord of the Rings, what supernatural and ancient race of beings were Gandalf the Grey and Sauron?
Boy, the Malar, or
Josh, tell me if I should take that. I don't know.
What he just did was he conflated two races into one.
So, I mean, I know like wizards are like their own basically species in Tolkien.
We've got wizard in the comments, but I will tell you that is a wrong answer. Sorry, Travis.
I don't. It's been ages since I've read the books, and I haven't read the Silmarillion, so I'm just going to go with the Malar because that's a word I have heard.
That is so stupid close. It is Maiar.
Maiar, damn it.
The Valar.
I was off by one letter.
We're thinking of the Valar are the like first tier of angels, and the Maiar are kind of like the second tier of angels. Essentially, is what they are. And so the fallen, who came to be known as Morgoth, who was like Sauron's boss, he was one of the Valar, but Sauron and Saruman and Gandalf, they're all Maiar.
Okay. I was confusing them with the Malomar.
Which are delicious.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I totally love that. But yeah, no, the Lord of the Rings, man, that's some awesome stuff. I totally dig it.
Yeah, I need to crack the books open again sometime. I just finished Wheel of Time earlier this year, and that was a phenomenal series.
I was so frustrated with Wheel of Time when you get to book 10. And like 120-page prologues featuring new characters you've never heard of, and you're like, "What are you even smoking, you rat?" Ugh.
Oh yeah.
No. Then he goes and instead of putting out between book 10 and 11, he wrote a prequel. And I'm like, finish the daggum series, you jerk. And then he writes like he's getting paid by the word. Like, come on, This is not a Tale of Two Cities. Come on.
Yeah.
But all that said, he wrote a great series, and they could not have handed it off to a better guy. Brandon Sanderson brought it home beautifully.
Yeah. I will say, like, books like 8 through 10 are torture to get through.
They are torture.
But once you get to book 11, it then becomes like, is there a speed between 0 and light speed? Because suddenly it's like nothing happens, everything happens.
At the end of book 7, if I recall correctly, was the one where the wall collapses on Matt.
Yeah.
And then book 8, you don't see or hear a word from him.
Yeah, he's just like, you don't get to be in the series today.
Until like kind of the very end, you like get oh yeah, he's still around too. You're like,
I feel like
he's one of the
you guys are dropping a lot of spoilers.
Collapse the wall on him at the end of the book, and then you skip him for a whole book. Come on.
Yeah, I always like to point out that the one chapter in the final book of the last battle is longer than the entirety of Deathly Hallows.
Yes.
And I mean, it's worth it. It's the best final battle I've ever seen, just because they cover everything.
The thing that drove me crazy, there were a couple of them, but one of them is that like he takes all these characters that you really like at the beginning, the main characters, and he pretty much makes you despise all of them except for Perrin. You're like, would you guys get your act together? Rand, pull your head out of your butt.
Yeah.
Stop being a whiny baby. Matt, grow up. Stop being an idiot. And then Perrin is still uber obsessed over his girlfriend, and you're like, come on, calm down.
That took like 3 books. I do love Matt, though. He is far and away my favorite character.
I do too.
And Tom, the Glee man. He's the best
awesome
mentor character.
I gotta admit, I forgot what we're talking about. What book is this?
The Wheel of Time. It is 14 books, each of which is like 800 pages, but it is thick with like 3 C's.
The paperback, I've got like 6 copies of it because you read it once, and it's such a thick book that it doesn't hold together well in paperback, and the cover falls off and it just falls apart.
That sounds brutal to me.
Yeah.
That sounds like prison.
I will say,
I've read the series.
That's my version of hell.
So if that tells you anything, I've read the series multiple times. It's good.
The first.
Before we move forward, I do want to shout out to Kim Doe Middleton. She was our guest last week, and so it's good to see her in the comments here.
Also, shout out to our doctor there. Thank you very much. Even though she won't let me come and hang out in the kids' ward and get medical treatment from a doctor who wears cool masks and stuff. My doctors are like, go over there, sit down. This is a plain blue mask. No Ninja Turtles on this one.
There is no fun allowed.
As long as they have Ninja Turtles in their heart, though.
Yeah,
they do not. I can tell you that they do not.
There are 2 kinds of people in this world: people whose favorite turtle is Donatello, and people who are wrong.
Oh, that's going to spark some fate, I think.
Yeah, come at me, comments.
I used to think I was Raphael, and as I grew up, I realized I'm Donatello.
Yeah, I was a Raph kid when it was new, but then I realized Raph is a tool.
So Kim bought new earrings to match her Ninja Turtle mask. That's amazing, I think.
Nice.
Hey, so this next question, we know Justin is going to get right. So you just have to get it right first.
Right.
Well, Justin, just hold your water and hang back a minute. How about that? And what is the prize for this next question?
Let's cut to the prize cam. So we're experiencing a kind of unique problem. You will recognize one of these Captain America comics because we gave it away on our very first, right? It might have been the second episode, but nobody's claimed it. So I would like to just throw a quick public service announcement out there. You got to come pick up your stuff within 2 weeks, or we're going to throw it back in the pile. We're going to start giving away bigger prizes. They're just going to be everything that no one's picked up until eventually it's just one massive, massive prize. You got to answer one Sphinx-like question. And then, boom, you get everything. So up for grabs today for question 4 is going to be Captain America. This is, remember we talked about, this is issue 1, but like, what is it? Probably issue 700. And then we've got Captain America Invaders. Prize Cam, if you could do me a real quick favor and grab Avengers Invaders. My bad. Grab Avengers and flip it over. This is a limited
certificate of authenticity.
Yeah, this is a limited edition Dynamic Forces, a special cover. It's a pencil cover. So, Andy, if you're into collecting rare or unique comics, this is a fun one to add to your collection.
That's some Alex Ross art, isn't it?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah,
all right.
As they say, very nice. Okay, so Justin, like, you have to count 10 Mississippi. All right, question 4. What, after I finish asking the question, you have to count 10 Mississippi, Justin. Not before. Okay. What classic Nintendo 64 Star Wars game bridged the gap between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi?
Shadows of the Empire.
You're on it, man.
The good old Dash Rendar.
Dude, he's on top of that.
Yep.
Yeah, he is. That was the only Star Wars book I've ever read. So
there were some really good ones from back in the day.
That's the only one I've got to. I know everyone hates on me all the time about never experiencing any media, but I read one thing.
And that was a fun one. Shadows of the Empire was not a bad book.
I always liked the Kevin J. Anderson stuff, the Admiral Thrawn and all that. That was some good
the Thrawn trilogy was a classic. I was a big fan of the X-Wing series.
Yep, those were good too.
Yeah.
Man, I used to think I was a nerd, but I don't know what anybody's talking about anymore.
Well,
this isn't even like Goonies that I haven't seen. Like Goonies. I can talk about Goonies.
You make stuff and do things. I just watch things and have opinions.
Oh, Mike, I feel like it is. I feel like it is a Futurama character.
It's absolutely in the same line as Zap Brannigan. Dash Rendar was almost just Han Solo with the serial numbers filed off. It was like, well, we want to do a Han Solo story, but Han's frozen in carbonite right now, so let's just make a character who's exactly the same as Han Solo.
The only thing I really remember about that book is that the villain used basically an abtronic. He just hung out and had something work out his abs, and he just laid there. Okay, so Andy,
I would totally do that if that was available to me.
I mean, I used to have an abtronic. They do not work. They don't work.
I would do it if it worked. I mean, it would have its work cut out for it. I'll tell you that. I'm told that there are ribs under here somewhere, but they're well padded and well taken care of. Those ribs.
That's natural insulation. That's what I tell myself.
Yeah,
Andy, we are going to have to.
Part of the country for that.
Now it gets cold here once or twice a year.
Yeah, this does not only stick around once or twice a year. This is here all the time.
Mm.
In a hot, humid Alabama summer, this is not helpful.
All right, so what's coming up next is just for the audience. So, Andy, we're going to have to pull you off because we have a bad habit of spoiling this question.
All right.
This is...
That's still my favorite. I love that.
Question. Yeah, you can't beat it. All right, Andy, hang tight. All right.
Tell them what they're playing for and cut to the prize cam.
Audience, you are playing for a $25 gift card to Haven Comics. What are your dreams? What are your wishes? What do you want in life? If it costs $25 or less and it is at Haven Comics, then it's within your grasp. So all you're going to need to do here is answer one Canadian question. All right. I hope everyone is ready. I hope you're at the edge of your seats.
Question we ask.
That's a good point. That's a good point. All right. What Canadian superhero was created when the Canadian government attempted to recreate the gamma blast that created the Hulk on a willing participant, Walter Lankowski? I'm pronouncing that wrong. But things turned out quite different. So Canadian government, Gamma Blast, tried to recreate the Hulk on Walter Landfowski. All right. We have got some really quick answers here out of Grace. Grace, you were killing it. When are you going to be on the show, Grace?
She has volunteered. She actually messaged me today or yesterday if she's interested in being on the show, so we should bring her on.
We don't have a guest for next week, and we've got a lot of open slots. If you're interested in being on the show, please message me or message Josh. We would love to have you. Jeffrey, that is a pretty good answer. It is an answer. So not bad. Also, Jeffrey was on our show last week too. So I'm really glad to see Kim and Jeffrey tuning in here.
He's just a shadow of his former self.
Oh man, that was a fun costume.
That was really cool. Once you got who the first person was, then the second person made sense. I have a question for everybody, though.
Maple syrup.
Okay, I agree with that answer, Mike. But this has always bothered me. Why is Sasquatch not green? Everything else in the Marvel Universe to do with Gamma turns green.
Why is Red Hulk not green?
Because they futzed with him.
They fudged with Sasquatch.
I would assume that Sasquatch is green. He's just green under all that fur.
He's green on the inside.
Exactly. And that's what really counts.
It's not easy being green.
Mm-hmm. That has to have been used in Hulk before, hasn't it?
Grace is really racking up the gift card points, I think. I think
she is, because she already got one from last week or the week before.
Is she local?
She used to be. She's in California now, but she and I have got it worked out.
That is going to be an expensive trip to come out here and pick up your $25.
She was like, you can use the gift card to pay for shipping and ship my stuff to me.
Amazing.
Yeah, she's awesome. But I think Alan's got the right answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's why he was originally gray, I think.
The Hulk, yeah.
Because green ink was more expensive.
I think
that is a trifling thing to do.
I think that Sasquatch is not green because they retconned his story and that became his origin later. That would be my guess.
Probably. It's comic books. Everyone's origin story changes.
But every single superhero is just an attempt to recreate Captain America, right?
No.
I think you're wrong. I think I'm right. I think every single literal superhero, including Batman. So,
do you read comics?
I mean, okay, in Ultimate Marvel, he's kind of right.
Well, in Ultimate Universe, but that doesn't count Batman.
Ultimate Batman.
It is not too late, Chris. Well, we're instituting a 2-week pickup time, but no, it's not too late. You can still get your stuff. Appreciate it.
Where is Justin? Because I think I just pulled a Justin level ribbing right there. I know it's not Batman.
Don't encourage him, Travis.
Oh man.
Yeah, if I was allowed to answer that one, my answer for the Canadian superhero was going to be Bret the Hitman Hart.
Pulling in all the wrestling references.
Hell yeah.
Look at this. Justin knows I'm right. Superman was based on Captain America.
Yeah, which is why he came out 2 years earlier.
Right. I mean, come on.
He flew backwards in time and came out first.
Okay, didn't Superman have a shield just like Captain America, though?
Comics and Death Metal. How you doing, Ryan? Good to see you, man. That's one of my favorite handles that somebody goes by is Comics and Death Metal. That freaking rocks.
It's pretty good. It tells you right up front who you're dealing with.
Right. It's like, this is a dude. He likes what he likes, and you probably don't want to tussle with that guy.
Josh, I just need everyone to know. I know Batman was not an attempt at Captain America. I know he was successful, whereas the rest were just attempts. Yep. So anyway, I want to cut to.
I mean, if we're going to be honest, Batman was an attempt at the Shadow. if we're gonna be real. Ooh, a Cyberman.
Yeah, or Zorro, right? No, it was Zorro that they based him on. That's what they said.
They say it's Zorro now because they don't have the rights to the Shadow, and I think Zorro's public domain. But yeah, initially, like, I mean, even like they were like, if you go back and read like the original like Cane and Finger comics, some of it was like word for word taken from old Shadow novels.
I feel like I've just fueled Justin.
Bob Finger, we just got in a book at the store about Bill Finger, and about how it's not just how he got totally screwed by Bob Kane.
Yeah, he got done dirty.
But it's he could, just because his dad wasn't a lawyer. I mean, come on. But yeah, it's a nice little hardback book, and it's just about Bill Finger, and it's a really cool little book. We've got 3 copies of it on the shelf at the store if anybody's interested in knowing a little bit more about the co-creator of Batman who got totally hosed by Bob Kane.
I may have to check that out.
Yeah, one of my favorite things that I've drawn this year is this in like classic inspired sketch cover of Batman.
That is really cool.
I just keep this around for me, which is weird. I normally draw something and then trash it immediately, but I just love that.
One of my favorite things you've drawn this year is this.
Oh man, did you get the new one with the tongue?
I don't have it on here.
I added the tongue after we had that conversation.
It kind of creeped me out, honestly. I was like, nope, that's wrong. That is wrong. I did not like it. I mean, it looked good, but it creeped me out. I did not care for it.
Okay, so where are we?
I'm about to win a Cyberman.
6 for the Doctor Who Cyberman.
Okay, Prize Cam, thanks for keeping us honest.
Yeah, the Prize Cam is the best. We have the best Prize Cam in the business. I stake my reputation on it. So, yes, question number 6 for the Doctor Who Cyberman. In the 1980 film Superman 2, what does General Zod call Earth when he first lands on the planet? So this is the planet, ...
Oh, no, I don't know this one. I haven't seen Superman 2 in ages.
Interesting. Audience, help us out. This is the planet blank. What did General Zod call Earth when he came here? Didn't know where it was.
Any guess is a possible right answer, Andy.
Interesting. So we got one right away from Alex, waiting in the wings. Yeah. Also, Andy, if you're gonna give it up, just say anything. Why not?
Yeah.
But yeah, he called it Houston, as in Houston, we have a problem, because that's...
Oh, right, because they first show up and they kill some astronauts, and they call back to Houston.
So this is the planet Houston.
Justin, is it different in the theatrical or Donner cut?
I think so. Yeah, the Donner cut's like a completely different movie.
Does he call it something different?
Based on the Donner Party. And there are lots of appetizers.
Yeah, I know. Like the theatrical cut, they made a lot more slapstick stuff in it because the producers wanted the movie to be more of a comedy. So the original Richard Donner cut has a lot of different stuff in it.
I've never heard that before, where DC took a good movie and screwed it up trying to make it a comedy.
Oh boy.
You know what? I was not a Snyder cut guy before, but I'm really psyched about it.
Yeah, I have been a Snyder apologist since 2013, but I'm glad that he's getting to finish it out.
They said that of Suicide Squad too. It's not the same movie that anybody signed up for, and that's got to be a shame, because when you're working in that kind of when you're working on a film, you just kind of have to hope that everybody else that shows up has, a good head on their shoulders. They're working towards something great. And then who knows? Like you have you can't control the outcome. You can't control what anybody's going to think of it. You just kind of have to wait. That has to be.
Yeah. I will say, regardless of people's opinions on Man of Steel and BVS and Justice League, I will always give Snyder credit for being the first guy to actually give Bill Finger proper credit for being a co-creator of Batman. BVS was BVS was the first DC product that acknowledged Bill Finger.
Wow. Artists get screwed across the board.
On 300.
He does a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, Sin City was great.
He didn't do that. Was Robert Rodriguez, I think.
I know.
We got Owen in the comments saying
has watched anything, but he has.
Wait, what? I saw 300.
You did? Did you hear what I did though? I was dragging you in to say that Snyder also did Sin City, and he didn't.
I know Snyder didn't do Sin City. Quentin Tarantino.
You know it now.
So, wait, who did Sin City?
I think it was Robert Rodriguez.
It was.
Oh yeah, because they're friends. Quentin Tarantino did a scene in that. I was kidding about Quentin Tarantino. I knew that it wasn't him, but I forgot who actually did it. So, Josh, 50-50 shot. Have I seen Superman 2?
No.
Yeah, I got it right. What'd you win? A terrible host.
I
really
won
bad
this
co-host.
Haven Comics window clean to put on my windshield.
Hey, would you put together a pack of those? You've got stickers, you got holographic stickers, you got magnets, you got all this cool stuff. Is there any way I could just get like all of it in a bundle pack?
Yeah.
I mean, want
they're
that.
all up in the store.
I need those things. Especially the lanyard to pop kids' balloons.
That's very good sticker for popping kids' balloons, no lie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That comes up more often than you'd think.
Well, I don't have a kid, but I can. That's a bunch of stuff there.
I was joking. I forgot that it was relevant. I do occasionally have to pop old balloons. All right, so that makes me look like a monster. So moving on to question 7.
All right.
All right, we are playing for the Ultimates graphic novel. So this is going to be probably 5 issues. I loved these as a Josh, you're getting mad at me, as a kid. This is where I came back to comic books. I was probably 13 or 14 when I got into the Ultimates, and they reinvigorated my love of comics. So Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate X-Men, the Ultimates. I just I couldn't get enough of those. I had every single comic, all of those, and that makes me so mad because Spider-Man, the original issue 1 or through whatever. When I was trying to find something to sign at the expo before, those things are stupid expensive. And I just gave them away. Terrible, terrible habit of mine.
Silly. Ultimate Spider-Man, I think it was number 12. It might have been 13. One of my favorite issues of any Spider-Man book ever. You see Spider-Man going into a parking garage to meet the Kingpin. And Kingpin has been making some threats and doing some things. And Spider-Man, he says something to him blah. And Spider-Man goes, okay, I got something I wanted to tell you. I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. And he reaches into his backpack and he pulls it out and he unfolds the paper. And he says, "You're so fat." And he just starts reading off. It was classic. It was absolutely classic. It was so funny.
My favorite one of those was he's fighting Dr. Octopus, and he says something like, "It's like, you have this and you go into a life of crime? Come on, man. You could rent yourself out as a carnival ride. Kids would love you."
Yes. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man was great. And I still wish that they had explored and gone the other way and seen how would Peter have been different if instead of Gwen Stacy dying, it was MJ.
Yeah.
They had the opportunity to rewrite history in an interesting and cool way. I wish they had taken it.
Yeah, I wasn't really
thought about that.
I wasn't really a fan of how they handled that, but
Well, no, they did some very stupid things with that over time. But
she got eaten by Carnage, and then Carnage just kind of like pooped out a new version of Gwen later. It was weird.
And they had the opportunity to decide from start to finish what they were going to do, because they had all of like every single comic in history that Marvel had produced. And they could have decided, we're going to do this, we're going to take this from here, we're going to do this, we're going to change this. But they just still kind of lost their path.
I mean, it's a shame that it went down the tubes, but it started off great. The first few volumes,
all of the Ultimate books started off really well.
Yeah.
And then they just fell apart and became, they lost their cohesiveness.
Yeah.
And they did some weird, twisted stuff with Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
Yeah, that was gross.
We did not need
everybody was thinking it. Everybody was thinking it. There's got to be a word for that. For when it's, this is a family show.
Yeah.
You're right. Speaking of losing your path, though, I'm looking at the next question. It's too easy, so I'm going to change it up.
Are you sure? I'm 2 for 4 or 2 for 5 right now. So
no. Anybody would get this if you were a comic book guy at all. Mephisto, right? All right.
Okay.
So he bonds something to a human host to create a Ghost Rider. What is that something?
It's the spirit of vengeance, isn't it?
What is it? What is the spirit of vengeance?
Oh God, I forget its actual name.
Yeah, digging deep.
God.
The spirit of vengeance is a demon named. Come on, pull out your inner.
It's not Dormammu. It's not Blackheart, is it?
Oh no.
Oh.
That's 2 wrong answers. Audience. What demon
does he watch before he decides it's his answer?
I know what it is.
Hold on. Yeah, you got a better answer? Hit me with a better answer.
I know what it is. I don't remember its name, so I'm just going to go with Blackheart.
That is a good shot. Blackheart, son of Mephisto, not bonded to Ghost Rider, a big Ghost Rider villain. Audience, what is the demon bonded to a human host to create a Ghost Rider? The spirit of vengeance.
What is the demon's name?
Yes. The demon's name. There's a single guy. A single demon.
And it's not Jerry.
They always portray this differently. The way, you know what, Owen, you might be right. You might be right. But I personally feel like most people would get that. So I was going to curveball it. Owen said that the original question was just fine, and I think you would have got it though.
Well, I appreciate the next question. I'm going to tell you.
Darkwing Duck.
Yep,
it's
Darkwing Duck, not the right answer.
Of the night, but it's close.
We're getting no answers, so I think we're going to have to cut this one. I hate to not give away that Ultimates comic, though.
I always thought Ghost Rider... Okay, you know those Hallmark cards where you open it up and it plays a song? I think that Ghost Rider should have that where you open it up and it starts playing Judas Priest. Because, I mean, like, you look at Ghost Rider and you just hear Painkiller playing in your head.
I get that.
Or Screaming for Vengeance.
That would have been a good choice.
Owen's mad at me for changing the question. So you guys know the Dunning-Kruger principle?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, if you know something, you just assume everybody else knows it. I thought this was too easy because I personally would have got this one right. But that is probably dumb. It is the demon Zarathos. So I got Marvel Unlimited, and I just read all the Ghost Rider comics probably 2 years ago, and I just, right in my head, I just thought that was something everybody knew. I thought everybody knew which demons were which. Okay, so the question originally read, what anti-hero was created when Mephisto bonded one of his victims with the demon Zarathos as an act of revenge after they broke a deal for their soul?
In that case, yeah, Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider, yeah. Johnny Blaze was the first Ghost Rider. You got Ketch. You got a bunch of Ghost Riders.
Yep.
Everybody's a Ghost Rider at this point. You got
the current Ghost Rider annoys me because he drives a car.
Yep.
At that point, you're not Ghost Rider. You're Ghost Driver.
I love that Ghost Rider. Love. Especially in S.H.I.E.L.D.
Plus, his head's not a skull. He's just got a helmet.
I'm with you. I don't care for the Robbie Reyes. I don't care for what he looks like, and I don't care for the car over the bike.
I'm into it. I think that car is cool. But in Shield, was that not awesome? That run was the best chunk of Shield that I've seen. Also, Travis is telling me I should give the prize away, but that would ruin the integrity of the show. You got Justin saying Knight Rider. Knight Rider is the demon that they used to create Ghost Rider.
Right, we do have a lot of integrity on this show. That's right. Can't ruin the integrity of this show.
My integrity.
Owen, I apologize. I'm sorry for ruining your question. Alan's lucky because we got a G.I. Joe question coming up.
Yeah.
Which means that Alan finally has a chance to win the slabbed comic behind Josh.
No. No. I beg to differ, sir. That isn't correct. He could win this. This is the magazine, G.I. Joe #1, the magazine from 1985.
How many dollars does he have to pay to win
it? This is like $12. I mean, this is It does have a Larry Hama story in it, though. It's got like a little 3-page story.
I saw a Larry Hama action figure the other day.
I need one.
That?
I haven't seen that. That's cool.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thank
ready
you.
with the Yojo. All right.
Well, let's go to the. What's our prize for this one?
The prize, Cam, is ready to go. We're gonna add it to the stream here.
It's a game. It's a Star Wars game.
That is the Star Wars Duels game. Andy, you like games in Star Wars? Both of those things.
I dabble a bit.
So this is a card game. It feels like the thing you could just break out of. You could just break out of the pack and play. So you'll definitely have an opportunity to enjoy that.
Yeah.
Tell me the last question was supposed to be easy because this one is hard.
All right. So for the Star Wars card game, lead Cobra physician Dr. Mindbender was what kind of doctor before joining the terrorist organization?
Dr. Mindbender. I would assume he's a psychiatrist.
If you remember what he looked like, he, let's see, he had tight pants, he had big boots, no shirt, but he had a cape, which was attached to like suspenders. He had a bald head, a monocle, and this mustache.
Oh, yeah.
So,
and supervillains really commit to their
brainwave scanner. He didn't actually create it. He improved on Dr. Venom's brainwave scanner, but he worked the brainwave scanner and all this stuff. And you would think some kind of neurologist or psychiatrist or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
like a brain surgeon.
Yeah, he's not at all.
A pediatrician.
Did you hear that, Kim? Pediatrician. He thinks Dr. Mind. Are you Dr. Mindbender, Kim? Are you?
I don't know. Kim's smart. She could bend the mind.
Yeah, probably. But we do have a correct answer in here. And it is not neurologist or brain surgeon.
Nah.
It is. Oh, they moved up on me.
A dentist.
Right?
You'll be a dentist.
Feed me, Seymour.
I got to do that show in high school, and it was amazing.
Oh, great show. Great show. But yeah, Dr. Mindbender was a dentist / orthodontist, and apparently he went to a great med school because they really also taught like how your brain waves work and such. So
yeah, how does that figure into being a dentist?
Yeah, good question. Good.
Unless there's just a whole field of dentistry that I don't know anything about.
I mean, a smart person can choose any job.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have a super brilliant guy doing anything, or girl, or anything, and super brilliant anything. I'm not trying to cast, I'm I'm not trying to cast villains into a particular mold.
All right, so I'm 2 for 7 now. I got to make something happen here.
Andy, you won number 1 with the sticker pack, and then you got the Captain America pack. You're right. I'm sorry that I hit you with that Zarathos question. Would you have got Ghost Rider? I feel like you would have.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to give you that.
That's what it is right there. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Beware the dentist. All right, what's our next prize there, Jeremy?
Well, to answer Mike real quick, no.
Do you know what Little Shop of Horrors is?
Of course I do. I'm tapped into the, Wikipedia. I can type into the Wikipedia.
It's Macbeth with plants.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. There's a plant. The plant talks. That sounds super fun for kids and everyone else, right? So that's what I think that is. Travis, not me. Not me. When it comes to giving away the ultimates, I'm going to do it because I robbed Andy, and I'm not going to live with myself if I don't fix it. So it is fixed now. Let's cut to the prize cam. The prize cam is showing us that the next thing up on the block here is going to be this original drawing from Tom Price. Tom Price is a local artist out of Decatur. He has drawn Red Sonja here on a Mars Attacks Red Sonja cover. Tom works with me.
I believe that is his business card there. That's not a censor bar covering up her butt.
Yes, that is just poor placement. So that is what you'll win if you get the next question right. And that is.
And I have faith in you, Andy. I think you got this one.
I think you got this one.
All right, let's hear it.
I'm actually pretty sure that you do.
What WWE legend did Peter Parker defeat in the ring in Sam Raimi's first Spider-Man film?
That would be the Bonesaw McGraw, as portrayed by the late, great Macho Man Randy Savage.
Call back to earlier when you guys were talking about it. I wanted to be like, oh, that's an answer to one of our questions.
Yep. And in the original comic, the guy's name was Crusher Hogan.
Correct.
I wonder why they changed that. Well, I mean, Hulk Hogan. I mean,
yeah.
Avoiding. Yeah, I can see that.
Which is kind of ironic because Hogan had to was originally Terry the Incredible Hulk Hogan, but Marvel sued him, so he just changed his name to Hulk Hogan.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder why you would get away with one and not the other.
Well, because the Incredible Hulk was trademarked, but Hulk is just a word.
Yeah. Also, I can't imagine Savage would have been cool with using the name Hogan, considering those two hated each other in real life.
Yeah.
I like this Mockman. I feel like Mockman is a good
Mockman.
He breaks your eardrum.
Such a Meta-Man villain.
That leads us to the last question of the night. For the last question of the night, we are going to play for Ethnos. This is what is this, about a $50 board game? I got to be honest, I have never played Ethnos, but carrying it around is hard to do. It is a big, impressive-looking game that I imagine you would spend hours learning how to play. Josh, have you played it?
I have not played Ethnos, as a matter of fact. It does have very, very good reviews, but I have not played it yet.
That does look really cool. Somebody brought up Hogan in Rocky 3. So, interesting story about that. All right, so the original Rocky was based off a boxer named Chuck Wepner. The guy who he was supposed to just be a warm-up fight for Muhammad Ali, and he ended up taking him all the way to going the distance with him. And that became the inspiration for the first Rocky. A few years later, some promotion in Japan did a boxing versus wrestling show where the main event was Muhammad Ali against the Japanese legend Inoki. In the same show, Chuck Wepner had a match against Andre the Giant. And that was the inspiration for the wrestling versus boxing match in Rocky 3. And that's how Hulk Hogan got his big break, because he was a nobody until Rocky 3. And then they started promoting him as their main event guy because he was in the movie.
So what I'm hearing is Sylvester
Good job,
Stallone saw like one night of sports, and then from there jumped his whole career.
Pretty much.
That was it. Amazing.
Well, I don't know. His career was pretty good before that. He was doing adult movies.
Yeah, and Death Race 2000.
Yeah, but I mean, before that, he said that he could barely eat.
That's why I'm checking down all his raw eggs.
Yeah.
You're a bum rock.
To make sure that he had something to eat when he went home, he was just killing craft services.
You gotta eat on stage. Give me them rocks.
I gotta give it to him too. Like Sylvester Stallone, I don't want to say hero, but I think he's a really impressive person because he wrote and he didn't direct, but he wrote that movie, right?
Yeah,
and he definitely wrote it. He didn't direct it though, right?
I think he did. I don't know.
Anyway, I'm going to give him credit for it. I'm going to give him credit for every piece of that movie. But they tried to buy that script from him, and he was like, no, either I make it or it doesn't exist. And that is a lot of fortitude, constitution from a man who has nothing.
Yeah.
And then he wrote Rambo, like everything that he's really famous for.
He rolled a natural 20 on that. That's really what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he did. I'm impressed.
Now, I've always been a big Stallone fan of all like the big meathead action stars of the 80s. Like the difference between a Stallone and like a Van Damme is that Stallone's movies were usually actually good.
I don't think he's a particularly good actor. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just impressed by him as a person.
Yeah. I think he's a pretty good director. Some of the stuff that he's directed has actually been pretty good.
Owen's backing me up here. He did direct it. I doubted myself after I said that. But guys, I have seen one movie. That's it. That's the one movie I've seen.
One
and
of my
he read a book.
Stallone moments wasn't actually even Stallone. It was just he kind of was he had an appearance in, but it was The Last Action Hero with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
We're in Arnold Schwarzenegger's action universe, or when he comes over to the real universe, and it's shown that no, he wasn't really a person. It was just this character that popped out. And all of his movies had been played by Stallone, and that cracked me up. I love that.
Apparently, I mean, they had that big rivalry to see who was the bigger star. Schwarzenegger pretended that he was going to take a role in that terrible movie Stop or My Mother Will Shoot, specifically so Stallone would take it and tank his own career.
That's
You
rough.
lost me. What are we talking about? Is that a movie?
Yes, it's an awful movie.
Now, the other Stallone movie that was really good, and it never got any credit, was Oscar.
I don't think I saw that one.
Great movie. Great
I'll have
movie.
to look it up.
Really, really surprisingly good movie. It was very off-brand as far as the kind of movie that it was, but it was a great movie.
Josh, was this movie before 1986?
No. Curse you. No. All right, so we ready for question number 10?
Yeah.
Playing for Ethnos, the big board game. Question number 10. In Back to the Future 2, it is revealed that Marty's dream of being a rock star was dashed when he crashed his truck into what brand of luxury car?
Was it a Rolls Royce?
Nailed it. Good answer.
Mm.
I mean, there are only so many luxury cars. You had, a few to pick from, but
It was either
got
it was either a Rolls or a Cadillac. I couldn't remember which. So
Now, there's no prize associated with it, but bonus question. Do you know who was driving the Rolls Royce in the movie?
that's a fun piece of info. I was happy to learn that.
The character's name was Needles, and he was played by the Red Hot Chili Peppers bassist, The Flea.
Huh.
It's always cool to see crossover like that. I mean, were they big like that when Back to the Future 2 came out?
No. No, not at all.
Yeah,
saw-
yeah, they
saw
didn't get
Zach
big till a
Black
few years
in
later.
I said Zach Black. That's not his name. I saw Jack Black in a Pitfall commercial the other day, like from when he was a kid. And it's always interesting to see those things you never really think about where they would have, explored before. For him to be such a big deal in Red Hot Chili Peppers, and then have also done something reasonably cool to be a villain in Back to the Future too.
I forget the actor's name, Jason somebody. He played the really irritating character George on Seinfeld.
Jason Alexander.
Jason Alexander. He had a commercial for McDonald's when McDonald's went through this weird little phase where they're like, the problem with our food, why people don't like it, is because when they order it, their hot stuff, like the burger, is with the cold stuff, like the lettuce and the tomato. So we need to separate those out and give people and assemble your own burger with the hot stuff hot and the cold stuff cold. And so it was this weird thing that they did. And he was on this commercial where they're singing this song and bopping down the street. It was terrible, but it's so funny. And you go back and see all the weird little stuff like that. It's always amusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Well,
you want to do our prize rundown?
I do, actually. So, Andy, I think you did okay. You tell me.
Yeah.
You tell me when you hear your rundown here. You won.
I have to thank Owen for putting a G.I. Joe question in. Thank you.
And a wrestling question for me.
Owen, thank you so much for doing this every week. It means a lot to us. Sorry I mangled your question. Sorry I just assumed everyone would know the Demon Zarathos. My bad. I do know small pieces of information from comic books. I'm ready for when I actually have to be in the hot seat here, and Owen gives me the hardest questions ever to antagonize me. But the hard questions are going to be like, have you seen Back to the Future? Yeah.
See, that has a correct answer, but you can't answer it truthfully. That's the problem.
Yeah. I've seen Back to the Future 1, not 2 or 3.
It's part 1 of 3. It's a 3-part story. What is wrong with you?
I mean, what am I supposed to do? I haven't seen
Watch the other 2.
One of the rare movies, or one of those rare trilogies where all 3 parts are equally good.
Yeah. Are they?
They really are.
Back to the Future 3 is about like being in the Wild West. There's a train.
It's freaking tastic.
It is really good.
Back to the Future 3 is a very strong movie, and it's a lot of fun.
Oh, man.
We're going to make him go naked through the street while everybody rings the bell and goes, shame, shame, shame.
Yeah. Owen's going to stop stalking me now. If that's all it took, being embarrassing in public, I would have known that a long time ago. It's all right. So, Andy.
Yes.
You won a sticker pack.
Okay.
You won a Captain America comic pack. You won the Ultimates because you would have got that right. My bad. And
That's
then
right.
you won the sketch cover from local comic artist Tom Price, and then you won the game Ethnos. So, pretty good showing, I think. 5 out of 10. And then it's really 5 out of 9 because you can't win the Canadian bonus question. How do you pick them up? Audience, you should hear this too. Audience, message us. If you have any issue getting to Haven Comics, just message us. We'll figure it out. Otherwise, we expect you to come to Haven Comics on Slaughter within the next 2 weeks. Grab your prizes, check out the store, spend your $25 gift card, and enjoy them infinitely to your heart's content. Josh, what's the address? I don't know it off the top of my head.
The store's address is 1871 Slaughter Road, Suite F. That's Madison 35758. Very easy to find. We got a sign. There's one out by the road. It's all lit up. Right there on the front. And it's a beautiful store. If you haven't been inside of it, it's great.
Yeah, we got windows.
It's the best comic book store in that location.
Arguably, I think it's the best comic book store on Slaughter Road.
You know what? I would say it is. It is absolutely the best comic book store on Slaughter Road.
You know why I started hanging out?
Claim.
You know why I started hanging out at Haven Comics? Because when I went in there, you guys talked to me like I was a human person. And I really respect that. That's all I'm looking for in a comic book store.
As opposed to what? What
An inhuman person.
Talk to you like a cat or an alien?
Sometimes you go to some places and they don't talk to you. And you walk in and you're like, what am I doing here? And you turn around and you leave. But sometimes you go to Haven Comics and they say, hey, what are you doing? How are you doing? What do you want to read? Can we get it for you? And then you buy stuff forever.
That's true. If you're a total introvert and you want to be left alone, I hate to say it, but Haven's probably not a great store for you until we learn that, and then we'll leave you alone.
Yeah, but as soon as we learn it, we'll leave you alone.
But yeah, we'll absolutely engage and talk to you. That's part of what we do.
Yeah, you just have to walk in and yell, leave me alone, and then we'll do it.
Just wear the shirt that says, don't talk to me, I'm an introvert. We'll be like, okay, I dig your shirt and I respect your introverted nature. But yeah, come in and pick up some of our Haven swag, and that way you can pay us for the privilege of advertising for us. What a great idea.
Yeah, and if you come this weekend, you might run into Jeffrey, who was our guest last weekend. And Jeffrey thinks I'm an extrovert. I might be. I don't know. I feel like I'm an introvert, but then like the coronavirus quarantines got me real sad. So I might actually be an extrovert. Man. Real quick shout out to the future of this show. We need guests. Do you enjoy this show? Have you enjoyed this show? Would you enjoy being on this show? Do you own a computer and a webcam? You can't catfish us. You actually have to be on the show if you want to. Just let us know. We'd really enjoy having you. It's always fun to meet our guests from the comments. So just shoot us a message on Facebook or YouTube and we'll work it out.
Like Justin's comments here.
Wait. There are other comics on Slaughter Road?
No.
Despite being fictional.
Wasn't there a game shop on Slaughter Road? I feel like it closed.
There used to be. It was down the other end. It was called Black Star Games. They were just a magic store. That's all they did.
Oh, so they didn't diversify enough to stay open?
Sadly, no.
And then there was another. Is it still open? There's a comic book store. If you go from Slaughter, you take a left.
You're thinking about JC's House of Cards.
Yeah, is it still open?
No.
Oh, no.
I believe the owner moved to North Carolina or something like that.
I had heard that they were talking about reopening, but...
They had talked about reopening. They had talked about selling. They talked about a lot of things, but as of now, the doors are still closed. And I can't imagine anybody would try to reopen a primarily gaming store that requires face-to-face games with 40 people in a room at the same time in the age of COVID.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, we've got an interesting concept here. Travis says he'd enjoy doing a round two. Maybe we'll do some kind of head-to-head. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of people racking up.
Shout out, by the way. I don't know that she'll ever see it, but a brand new comic book store just opened up in Montgomery, Alabama. The owner is LaShawn Colvin, and she's also a comic book creator. She's got a comic called Beautiful Soldiers that she's doing a Kickstarter campaign for. And she just opened on Halloween. Heck of a Halloween year to open. 2020 is a tough year to open a comic book shop, but she did it. So shout out to LaShawn Colvin at her shop down there in Montgomery. I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's a long name. It's like Comic Nerds and Beverage Boutique or something like that. It's a long name, and I forget it. But yeah. Brand new store open there in Montgomery, so shout out to them.
She makes comics?
Yeah.
What a cool concept. A comic book store.
Her art is beautiful.
A comic book store that has its own comics. Very cool concept.
It's an interesting idea. We should look into that. I've got us some swag.
We'll just slap stickers on. We'll just pick any place that it says Marvel or DC. We'll just put a sticker over it.
That's right.
Shameless.
Look at our new book, Batman.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What
is this? I can't buy at 2nd and Charles. They put the boards in the centerfold. They put the comic book board in the center of the comic.
Why?
What kind of terrible monster person would do that? And that's like a corporate decision that they do that across the board.
Also, what a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
I've been really, really mad at a lot of stuff this week, and that makes me angry. That really pulled
Yeah,
it
that's
out.
like,
Ugh.
why do that?
Yeah, they clearly have nobody on staff who has ever done this, so they can scan the UPC on the back cover. Still not worth it.
Wow.
Not worth it.
Wow.
That's disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
Proposition for you and Jeremy. I'll message after the video. Anytime somebody tells me they're gonna, anytime somebody tells me they're gonna proposition me,
Yeah, got to raise an eyebrow at that.
Oh, we look forward to hearing from you, man. Of course, always. All right, guys. You want to?
You were awesome, and also Fab Nerd Cred. Rock on. You've proved it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys very much for having me on. It was a great time. If you ever want to, if we ever do a round 2 or a head-to-head thing, let me know. I'd be down for it.
Or if Theater Huntsville or Imp needs any comic book store people, we would be happy to help.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys very much.
I think that's a cool idea to
play
start building.
Jeremy, you've got the fancy videos.
Absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and oh, my finger slipped. If you do ever, if you have a house that you want to sell or buy, message me. But otherwise, let's talk comics. I also want to do
this just because this is cool. That's so great.
That is so cool. We're amassing quite a collection of these.
Hang on. Let me get a fancy animation here.
Like this one. We never even played this show's intro.
Yeah.
We've got all these cool videos. We never play them. Yeah. You know what I need to do? I need to write down some kind of list of how the show is supposed to go. Maybe it'll be better.
Oh, yeah. I also made one of these.
Oh, cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, we should tell people that throughout the show.
We should. And I can run something like that, too, at the bottom if we want. That's from a while back.
Cool.
Yeah.
We could put the questions in there.
Hey, that's a great idea.
That feels like a lot of work.
It's not.
It's a good idea.
That's a great idea. I dig it.
The show, you come back to us a month or two from now. It's gonna be.
We're gonna look like we know what we're doing.
You know what I want? I know I'm gonna play us out in 2 seconds, but you know what I really want? Some kind of buzzer that's like you win or you lose. I clapped this time, but like it'd be fun just to have any kind of audible notice that's like Josh is power drunk. All right, guys. It was fun to hang out with everyone. Andy, we really appreciate you coming on board. Thanks for playing with us. Congrats on all of your prizes. Congrats to everyone else that won a prize. Again, you got 2 weeks. Come get them. Or just let us know. Figure it out with us. And we're not monsters. We got cool stuff unlocked. Just let us know, and we won't give your stuff away. All right? And awesome. Every week, 7 p.m. on Thursday, come hang out with us. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.